We're staying on top of the Triad's winter storm, and you know by now crews are still struggling to clear the roads in Guilford and Rockingham County.
WFMY News 2's Ben Briscoe says Forsyth County is also having problems getting up and around. Ben.
Frank and Julia, a lot of people out here haven't even bothered to shovel their driveways yet, and that's because of what's at the end of them out in the street. Look at this mess. It's more like an ice skating rink through most of the neighborhoods. That's because these residential areas are low priority for the plows. And so the buses won't be able to get through many of these streets tomorrow morning, and that's part of the reason that Winston-Salem Forsyth County schools have canceled classes for Wednesday. Now, these streets also cooled down sales today at several area businesses this morning. At Southeastern Furniture in Greensboro,
it's actually melting a little bit. Sun trying to come out.
Most of the morning was waiting and watching the windows.
We can sell it separate, or we can sell it in a suit.
By 11:30, only one shopper showed up.
I said, well, maybe they all listen to McCory. They tell them to stay off the road, a state of emergency.
Salesperson Darren Dalton left his kids at home sledding to be here.
I would love to be there, but in the same sense, if I'm there with them, I'm not making no money.
If one or two people come in and we can actually sell them something, then it'll be well worth coming in and everything.
They weren't the only ones struggling to get business. Even main roads like Elm Eugene were eerily empty. And at the Thai Corner Kitchen, it's normally swamped for lunch.
When one table leaves, another table comes. It's a lot of people.
But
Today, there's nobody. I'm wondering where everybody is because the roads aren't that bad.
In neighborhoods, families like the Gomez's say it's no wonder people don't want to go out shopping.
I'll stay home, continue playing with my daughter. This night is fun. Oh, now I'm so out of breath.
So back at Southeastern Furniture, they're just glad to have some comfy couches to wait around on.
But you just remember, we doze, but we never close.
And I just checked back in with the furniture guys. They were awake because they had about 100 customers come through this afternoon, believe it or not, once the sun came out. But they know that once the temperatures start to get colder tonight, all of this down on the street is going to cause a huge mess for them again in the morning. Look how slick it is already. So they're expecting slim pickings again tomorrow.
The most recent snowfall is done, but it's not going anywhere fast because of the freezing temperatures.
So hard enough moving a whole lot of snow, even harder once it freezes on you. WFMY News' Ben Briscoe's in Forsyth County, where they're fighting through the same icy problems as their neighbors.
Whew. You know, you guys might have just gotten home within the past couple of hours, and you probably thought, hey, the roads weren't that bad. Well, guess what? There's a big change coming, and it's already happening. Look down at my foot and you can see how slick the roads are. I almost have to use this shovel just to stay standing. But to really notice the change, let's break this sucker up. It's a lot harder than you might guess because it's already a sheet of ice out here. And you know what? We're really trying to get in there, and you can see how thick it is. I'm going to pull up this chunk right here because that's a prime example of what's on top of your neighborhood streets. So slick already, it's falling out of my hands. But look at it, it's about ½ an inch thick already, and listen to how thick and crunchy that is. Now picture a school bus trying to get through here tomorrow on top of all of this. Not going to happen. That's part of the reason Winston-Salem Forsyth County schools have already canceled classes for Wednesday, and part of the reason that you should probably be finding some kind of activity to do at home tomorrow. Frank and Julia, I also had to tell you that a little bit earlier, Grant said if you're gonna shovel, you want to do it today before all of this freezes over. But at this point, just give up and go inside. It's already tough enough.
Going nowhere fast. A lot of us have been there, especially this week.
2 Wants to Know caught this mail truck stuck today while checking out conditions at school bus stops. 2 Wants to Know's Ben Briscoe ended up helping push that truck out.
Frank and Julia, a small mail truck is one thing, but no amount of my pushing would help if one of these giant school buses back there got stuck at the stop. That's part of what district leaders thought about when they decided to cancel classes yet again tomorrow. This mail truck shows the slippery slope of having school on Friday. Right here, Carroll Street off of Battleground is a school bus stop. Even my toughest push barely budges the truck in this slick street.
And this is going to be frozen solid tonight.
Can you picture a bus making it through here?
It's gonna be slippery.
Zero chance.
Zero chance.
They're coming down this road right here. My kids ain't going. Even if the bus comes, I ain't gonna trust the bus to take them.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. 2 Wants to Know checked out 6 random Guilford County bus stops. On Brompton Drive, neighbors had trouble walking around without falling. And check out Ardell Drive.
There's just too much of an incline, there's too much ice.
Even at the 3 spots which are passable, parents were in favor of canceling classes just 1 more day.
School buses can get here, but you see, you have to err on the side of caution. I think it's a good idea because they're trying to be safe for the kids.
So after about 30 minutes, we were finally able to get that mail truck free. That's when I tweeted out this: mail truck stuck where bus is supposed to go. Retweet if school should be canceled again tomorrow. At last check, we had about 220 people retweeting it. So not a lot of people out there upset about school being canceled once again.